This is the 2025 Acura ADX A-Spec. Does it check off all the right boxes? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Acura today where you can get the Vehicle Visionary discount. That means if you come in to buy any new vehicle on the lot, mention that you watched my video on that vehicle, it will give you $500 off. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color on this model that is available in either all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive is Urban Gray Pearl. It has an ebony interior and full LED lighting here on the front end. So that means we're going to have LED headlights, the LED daytime running lights, and LED turn signals. You will also find LED fog lights down here on the lower portion of the bumper. Now there is a good bit of gloss black here, a couple of different finishes, some gloss, some matte. We will find the gloss black finish with the Diamond Pentagon grille with the nice large Acura logo there in the center. And as I said, you've got your options, front wheel drive or all-wheel drive, 19-inch wheels. Now the wheels themselves are going to have a gloss gray finish, which in my opinion works really well here with the exterior color. You will find the gloss finish on all of the surround on the fenders and all around the lower portion of the vehicle. You're going to have your turn signal indicators built in to your heated power adjustable side view mirrors with your blind spot monitoring built in right there. And as far as your remote goes, let's take a look at what you have in that area. We're going to have lock, unlock. You can open and close your power tailgate, and you have the panic button right here. You'll find a panoramic sunroof, our shark fin antenna, and the rear roof spoiler with a nice sporty look to it. But that's not just there for looks, it's also there for the use of channeling air over the rear window as you drive down the road. That helps to keep that rear window nice and clean. But you do have your rear window wiper when needed, and LED taillights finish things off back here with our ADX logo. This model is all-wheel drive, and we will also find our A-Spec logo here on the power tailgate. Under the hood is the 1.5-liter direct injection turbocharged four-cylinder that puts out 190 horsepower and 179 pounds-feet of torque. It is mated to a CVT. Tell Acura down in the comments section if you would like to see that change at some point in the future. I know a lot of people are not fans of the continuously variable transmission. How about your MPGs? 25 city, 30 highway, 27 combined, and 3.7 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And here's some information you often don't hear about in these videos on YouTube, and that's the gas tank size. In this case, we're looking at 14 gallons in capacity. And when it comes to driving distance on a single tank of gas, front wheel drive, you can go 364 miles in the city, 350 miles in the city. When it comes to all-wheel drive, and as far as highway mileage goes, 434 miles with front wheel drive, 420 miles on a single tank of gas out on the highway. And yes, there are no guarantees you will be able to achieve those numbers. You might do better, you might be a little lower. That depends on a number of variables. And as we take a look here at the rear, one thing I didn't mention earlier that I do think is a nice touch is the fact that you have the dual exhaust outlets. It just looks better as opposed to having just one back here. While by no means is this meant to be a high-performance vehicle, you can tow a maximum 3,500 pounds. You will find the power tailgate. And here is something that should make everybody happy. You do not have a tire repair kit. You have a spare tire. Nice to have that peace of mind. The cargo cover is removable. Your cargo capacity comes in at 24.4 up to 55.1 cubic feet, depending on whether or not the seat backs are in their upright position. You will find cargo lighting in the rear area back here and a 12-volt power outlet if you need to power something. And a couple of little details as far as your power tailgate goes. You'll notice the different buttons we have here. This will close it. This is the walk-away feature, and I'll show you what that is in just a minute. You'll notice that underneath this button it says hold to set height. So if you want to reposition your power tailgate, hold that button down after you put it where you want it. And when you hear those two beeps, that means that the tailgate height has been reset. This is the walk-away feature right here. You might have seen this in some Honda models. It's normally located down here in this area. When you push that button, I'm going to hold that button down or push that button, and you'll notice the beep that you just heard. If you need to gather up some groceries or whatever you have here in the cargo area, and you just want the power tailgate to close when you walk away, that's exactly what's going to happen. You hear that beep, that lets you know that it's about to close. Just makes things a little bit easier. Let's talk about what your second row passengers will find. Plenty of room with the armrest. It is nice and comfortable, a little bit of padding there. And the door bin / bottle holder there. It's not the biggest, but you could store little items right there or just put a bottle or a cup in there. The seats themselves are set as far as the recline goes. You can't adjust that. I know a lot of people would like that feature, but that is not available here with the rear seats. We have our fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in, but something that will make everybody happy is the fact that not only do you have air conditioning vents for your rear seat passengers, but you also have a couple of USB ports. We have the singular rear seat pocket right there for storage, and there is the interior view of the panoramic sunroof. You do have the power shade right here. They can be drawn forward to block all of the sunlight. On a hot Louisiana day like we're having here, I would not want to leave that open for long. You can open the front portion of the sunroof. The sticker price is $41,950. Let's see what else you get for that price. The driver and passenger seats are heated and ventilated and power adjustable. However, the one box that you can't check off here on the seats is lumbar support. A little surprised, not on the driver's side or the passenger side. Tell me what you think about that. Here's our upper console. We have our sunglass holder. That's always nice to see. And then the control for our power shade and power sunroof. And you can see what else is up there as far as that goes. And then we're going to find our glove box right here. Plenty of room within that area. And you can see the red contrast stitching here in the ebony interior. And as far as the driver's side door goes, we're going to have our settings for our power windows. You can lock and unlock the doors. You can lock and unlock the windows. And then here's good news. You have one touch down, one touch up at all 4 doors. You can open and close the power tailgate here, traction control underneath that if you want to turn that off or on. Drop the lever right here and you can adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. You have all of your steering wheel mounted controls here. Everything for the radio, everything for adaptive cruise control, paddle shifters are here, and we can go through a lot of information with our driver's display by using the scroll wheel right here. So depending on what you need to do or see, you can see that you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You can see everything that is there as far as the different options go, depending on what you need to know about. If you need to go back, you just push the scroll wheel like that. And then we can do the same thing over here, and you can see what I'm doing. And you can use the scroll wheel just like this, like I was saying. And when you push that, it lets you go in, and you can see the back arrow right up there at the top. So that means you just push the scroll wheel one more time, and that allows you to go out of that particular screen. For those that are wondering about the tire pressure monitoring system and seeing that, here's how you do that. It's just one of the available options on the right-hand side of the driver's display. You've got maintenance. You have quite a few different things here, depending on what you want to see and what you want to know about. You can even adjust the driver's display. See if I can get to that screen for you. There it is right there. We can go in and make some changes. We can hide and unhide, and whatever we need to do, we can take care of that. Very easy to deal with. Your controls for your front and rear window wipers right there, and over here where we control everything for our headlights, we can leave that on auto. You can turn your fog lights on and off, and believe it or not, you can also let people around you know what you're doing, because that is a multitasking lever. It's also the turn signal lever. And here is our center screen, not the driver's display. Let's get that straight. You can laugh at me and not with me on that one, because yes, I deserve that. But a little mistake there. Center screen, somewhat simplistic, I would say. There's not a lot going on here, but that makes things a little bit easier. Maybe you're that person that wants a little bit more of a minimal display. You can go in here and make some changes, go to different settings depending on what you need to see. Pretty easy to deal with as far as that goes. You can pair your smartphone, like I said, wirelessly. There's your button for controlling the volume and turning the radio on and off. Dual zone climate control. You can see that you have the illumination surround here on each of the controls. Hard to see that. That's not just white. That actually is illuminated. If it was dark, it'd be easier for you to see that. We will also find more USB connection here and the wireless charging pad. There's a cup holder right there, another cup holder right here, and the shifter. Pretty easy to deal with. Now you have the D right here for drive, and the S, that's for sport mode. I had somebody who one time told me, no, that's for second. Now, if they really believed that, well, all I can say is I have a bridge for sale they can buy. Other driving modes right here. Let's go through those driving modes. So you can see that you have sport right there. You also have normal, we have comfort, and snow. And one more thing, as far as the shifter goes, when you go into reverse, you will see your rear view camera. There are 3 different views. I do wish that Acura would make standard a lot more cameras than just this on the ADX. Across all trim levels, it would be great to see the front view camera, the side view mirror cameras, all that stuff. Tell me what you think about that. That's one of those boxes that we can't check off in this case. There's your idle stop or auto stop start. If you want to turn that off or on, you can do it there. Hill start assist, power parking brake, and brake hold mode. Not the largest center console, but it is fairly deep, so there is a decent amount of space within that area for additional storage. And for those who want to know what it looks like with the power shade drawn forward, for the power sunroof or the panoramic sunroof, that is what it looks like. To pair your smartphone to your ADX, number one, when you start the vehicle, if there is not a phone connected, you will be prompted to do so. If you don't see the screen to do that, just come right here on the screen. That's where we select, and here's the screen that comes up. No phone detected. We can connect new device. Now, what we're going to do, I'm using a smartphone, or an iPhone, I should say here. It's obviously a smartphone. iPhone. And we're going to do this same way as you would do with an Android device. We're going to come into settings, Bluetooth, and scroll all the way down to Acura ADX, and we're going to select that area. We're going to select pair right there. We're going to select allow, and we're going to let the screen prompt us on what we need to do. Now, if you want to use Apple CarPlay in this case, since it's an iPhone, we're going to select yes right there, and we're going to be good to go here shortly, and that will allow us to go on to the next step in the video, and that is a sampling of the premium audio system from Acura with 8 speakers within the interior. Okay, we don't want to go too far with that, make it too long, but I hope that helps. Here in person, it sounds great. I hope my microphone picks it up just as well for you to hear. And let's talk about driving the ADX, a comfortable ride quality. All-wheel drive is available for those of you that need it. That's nice to know. Or you can go front-wheel drive, save a little bit of money. And depending on what features you want, if you want features such as the power folding side view mirrors and more camera views and things like that, well, you can go with the A-Spec Advance, and you'll find those things. Quite a few additional features, but obviously a little more money. Just depends on what your situation is. I'd call the ride quality good, and the handling is good. Easy to see out of, that's always nice. Even though we don't have a rear view camera mirror or anything like that, we can still see very well. And it's easy to get around with, a nice tight turning radius. So depending on what your situation is, if this is the size of vehicle that works for you, well, then you will be in very good shape, because you will be able to maneuver your way around in tight confines. If you live in a highly congested city with a lot of traffic and tight parking, things like that, you're going to be in a lot better shape than those who need a full-size SUV or even a mid-size SUV. The technology here is easy to learn and use. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, that's one of the big advantages here to this screen, is that it's fairly minimalistic. So you don't have a lot to sort through. So for those of you that are saying it's time for a new vehicle, but I don't want a ridiculous amount of bells and whistles, this is something that's a very good option for you. The driver's seat itself seems to be very comfortable. I can't speak to whether or not it stays that way for long periods of time, such as for a multi-hour road trip, but for driving around town just a few minutes, I know I'm very comfortable here. and a lot of adjustability built in between the seat adjustments and the steering wheel adjustments. So whether you're really tall or maybe not so tall, you will be able to adjust things so that you're nice and comfortable. Now, acceleration, it gets the job done. 190 horsepower is obviously not a ridiculous amount of power, but there was a time in the past where full-size trucks didn't make 190 horsepower. So this will definitely do it for you. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I know one thing that a lot of people would like to check as far as those boxes you want to check off go is a more conventional style transmission, but you're going to have the CVT here. Now, some people might say, you know what, Tom, I like the CVT. If you're that person, leave a comment. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. But overall, it's a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. It's very versatile. And for those that are looking for a little bit more in the way of features and functionality, and you're saying, you know what, Tom, I looked at the Honda HR-V, it just didn't do it for me. Well, that's basically what this is, with a few features you can't get with the HR-V, such as the panoramic sunroof, multiple camera views. It just depends, again, on what you want to spend. Okay, tell me what you think about the 2025 Acura ADX A-Spec. Does it check off all of the right boxes? It depends on who you are what the answer is to that question. Obviously, on additional trim levels, there are going to be more options, such as with the A-Spec Advance. Then you're going to find all of those different camera views that I referred to earlier that personally I think should be available across all trim levels. But tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments section. And don't forget about the Vehicle Visionary discount here at Acura, the only place where you can get that $500 off. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Acura for loaning me this ADX for the day so I could tell you all about it, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.